I think tonight he drew a hard line in the sand, saying that he supported the public option and that.
But it's not
he made a good case for it.
But he's willing to look at other ways.
And that's what annoyed me. I'm a little further to the left than most liberals, and so I was a little dissatisfied with that last little caveat, which is I'm open to other options, which is sort of a door to get rid of the public option.
It's no way this public option is going to happen.
Well, it depends.
Not gonna happen.
It depends on what tactic he draws. If he decides to ramrod this through Congress, if they decide to go through reconciliation or do some other measure where they don't really need Republican votes, then all of a sudden it makes sense. And if you look at the way he sort of threw cheap shots at Sarah Palin, the way, subliminally, the way he threw sort of shots at the Iraq War, which seemed a bit unnecessary, at least for this speech, if he's trying to bring people together, it might be that he's planning to do this alone. Bush in Afghanistan, President Obama is certainly mirroring Bush.
Conyers is critical of him.
Absolutely. I mean, there are some issues, but on domestic policy, to compare President Obama to President Bush, to me, borders on absurd. But no one's beating up on the president. I voted for the president, and I support the president. He's my president. He's our president. However, when I see a public option go under the bus, I have to speak to that. When I see education funds leaving us, I have to speak to that. All of us have a responsibility. That's the issue for me. My assessment is that there is enough blame to go around for everyone. This guy had a visa. He shouldn't have had a visa in the first place. That's a State Department issue and can really open up a very provocative conversation about whether or not the distribution of visas should become a law enforcement issue rather than a State Department issue. But there's also the fact that this guy was on a watch list yet somehow didn't make it to a no-fly list. There's also the issue that the guy had a bomb, that, Abdul Muttalib had a bomb strapped to him and somehow made it through airport security. So there's enough to go around for everyone. I think it's too reactionary to call for Napolitano's firing. I don't think that's the actual issue here. The issue here is that the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. Part of it is bureaucracy, part of it is incompetence, and part of it is the lack of leadership in the TSA and in the CIA and in the State Department right now. My heart is bleeding for her. I mean, she's so sorry for the pain and embarrassment that she caused Tiger's wife that she goes on international television to add her name to the list of Hooters waitresses that he's been chasing around. If it was about the wife, she could have sent a private note. She could have done it off the record.
Yes.
But instead, she's going to have a big check, and something tells me it's not going to the Woods Foundation. Lonely white woman.
Bringing race into this, Professor Hill. Bringing race.
You know I hate to bring race into anything. I hate to bring race up. What is it with you people and monkeys, man? You guys befriend monkeys, you hang out with them, and now you sleep with them. And here's the crazy.
It's actually a fair point. Every movie with monkeys, usually it's just white people with the monkeys.
That's why black people are laughing at this. And then the crazy thing is, after spending 10 years dating a monkey, after she rips the person's face off, they're doing an autopsy to find out what was wrong with the monkey. What are you talking about? They should be checking the woman out.
But Dr. Hill, I got to ask you, millions of couples, as well as many lonely people, go to bed every night with a dog or a cat in their bed. How is this different? It's just another pet.
Yes, but the dog doesn't wear an ascot and a smoking jacket. This person was marrying the dog. There's a difference. It doesn't matter. First of all, there's precedent in Massachusetts. There's precedent in Massachusetts to say that even berating a police officer while being arrested does not constitute disorderly conduct. It's very specific.
A legal precedent. There is.
Exactly. So it's very specific. So they had no legal right.
It's protected by the First Amendment.
Precisely. So he shouldn't have been arrested.
Well, let's remember the charges.
But also, let's not believe. But also,
the charges have been dropped. I think the bigger issue is why would the president of the United States wade into something?
Because this is a huge issue that deals with race relations. Even if we think that Ann is right, for example, and say that this is a poor example of racial profiling, that's something a president needs to intervene on because the entire nation is talking about it.
Intervening is one thing, but calling a police officer stupid?
He said the arrest was stupid and legally invalid.